Kia ora team, today we are looking at the lateral pelvis. So first things first, the pelvis is made of 3 bones. The top bone is our ilium. The bone at the front, which we can tell is at the front because it points forward, is our pubic bone. And the bone at the bottom that we sit on is our ischium. We know this is the lateral pelvis because we see this big socket here, and it's called the acetabulum. So the acetabulum is by our ass, and we know it's lateral because our ass is on the outside. Right, labeling. When we run over the top of a hill, we go over the crest of a hill. So this top bit is on our ilium, and it's the iliac crest. Then we've got these 3 lines, one running at the back, one running through the front, and then one running at the bottom of the ilium, and near where our glutes insert. So let's call them the gluteal lines, and to differentiate them, we'll talk about the one in the front being our anterior gluteal line. Anterior means in front. The one at the back, posterior gluteal line, because posterior means behind. And then the one at the bottom is the inferior gluteal line. And I've gone blind. Ah, there it is. Inferior gluteal line because it's at the bottom of the ilium. Now, bumpity bits. A big bumpity bit is a tuberosity. A smaller bumpity bit is a tubercle. And on the pelvis, a small bumpity stickety out bit is a spine. So we've got 2 spines on the anterior side of the ilium and 2 at the posterior side or the back of the ilium. So when we label them, we start saying, are they front or back? So anterior, and then it's above, so superior iliac spine. Then also in the front, so anterior, and below the other one, inferior iliac spine. And then the 2 at the back will be labeled posterior. The one underneath, posterior inferior iliac spine. And the one above, posterior superior iliac spine. And we are looking good on the ilium. So moving down, we've got these chunks taken out. So a chunk taken out is a notch. So we've got a big notch, the greater sciatic notch, and then underneath we've got a little notch, so lesser. So greater is obviously bigger, lesser is smaller, and sciatic, because at the back of our leg with a big nerve is called the sciatic nerve. Then we've got another little bump, so a bump on the pelvis, a little bump is a spine. So this time, this spine is on the ischium, so the ischial spine. Then we've got a really big bump on the ischium. So a big bump is a tuberosity, so the ischial tuberosity. And that's that bump that we sit on, and it's also what all of the hamstring muscles insert into or originate from. Then a bridge or a connecting bone is called a ramus. So this connecting bone from the ischium will be our ischial ramus. And that's our ischium done. Now a big hole is called a foramen. So this big hole is the obturator foramen. Obturator because that's the name of the muscle that runs through it. Then that brings us to the front bone, which is the pubic bone. Oh, let's start with labeling the acetabulum. So the acetabulum is where all 3 bones come together and meet. So it's got a bit of the ilium, bit of the ischium, and a bit of the pubic bone. Okay, but the main chunk of the pubic bone that sits up here. So the main chunk of me is my body, so therefore the main chunk of the pubic bone will be the pubic body. Then we've got a bridge coming this way, and then a bridge coming this way. So a bridge is a ramus, but because the pubic bone has two of them, we have to label the one above superior ramus of pubis. Superior means above, and inferior means below. So then this one must be the inferior ramus of the pubis, which leaves us with this cute little bump at the front. So a little bump is our tubercle. So here is our pubic tubercle. And we are done.